I'm Matthew. I've spent over a decade implementing and managing CMMS systems, and some people use it like my mom still uses her iPhone, exactly how they think it should be used. That's why she still makes phone calls with it. And your CMMS is probably the same way. There are features in there right now that could save you hours of work, and nobody's using them. Today, we're talking about hidden tools, mass updates, cleanup utilities, and external helpers that can help you finally take control of that system instead of fighting it. Because I see this all the time, companies paying for a Ferrari and using it like a golf cart. So grab your coffee, open that CMMS you've been side eyeing for 5 years, and Mom, if you're listening, yeah, I guess you can throw your iPhone box away now. Most people only know the parts of the CMMS that they touch every day. Gronk open work order, Gronk close work order. Maybe you run a report some VP 3 VPs ago requested and nobody knows why. That's the workflow. Meanwhile, there are entire modules sitting in the background collecting dust like that treadmill of yours collecting your laundry. And honestly, this isn't the user's fault. A lot of people never got a proper walkthrough after go live. They got trained on just enough to survive Monday morning, and then everybody disappeared into the mist like a Scooby Doo villain. That reminds me, I used to think Salesforce was terrible. Like, how did these people build that giant, beautiful building in San Francisco when the software sucked this hard? Then one day they expanded my permissions, and suddenly I realized, oh, this software isn't terrible. I just had access to like 3 buttons in a drop down menu. And honestly, a lot of CMMS users are living that same exact experience right now. There are features your company is probably already paying for that nobody has reviewed in years. Bulk editors, import utilities, scheduling tools, inventory functions, mobile features, automation options, dashboards. Stuff that can legitimately save people time and frustration. So here's your first item action this week. Schedule a system review. Seriously. Call your customer success manager, call your vendor, call your administrator, whoever owns the keys to the kingdom. Don't ask, how do I do my job? Ask, what are we not using? That's the question, because sometimes the biggest CMMS upgrade isn't buying a new system. It's finally using the one you already have, but using it correctly. And don't be afraid to ask dumb questions during that review either. You're already paying for the software. You might as well find out what's hiding in there. Like my mom's iPhone, it can do a great many things. And yes, Mom, you can see what your crazy cat lady friends are doing on Facebook. Now, once you figure out what tools you actually have, this is where things get dangerous. Because mass update tools are one of the fastest ways to build a great system, and one of the fastest ways to destroy a great system. These tools can save you days of work, but they can also create support tickets that begin with, so funny story, bulk close work orders, archive old records, update asset fields, import equipment, clean up statuses, fix bad codes, mass assign labor, mass modify PMs. Stuff that would normally take somebody 6 months and 3 emotional breakdowns in Excel. But here's the thing, most mass tools do not come with an undo button. This is not Microsoft Word. You do not hit Control Z and ask Jesus to take the wheel. So before you touch anything, back up your database. Seriously, I'm not joking here, because some of you are one bad CSV import away from becoming a motivational story at the next user conference. And after the backup, measure twice, cut once. That old carpenter saying applies perfectly here. Run your queries first, preview your changes, verify your filters, double check your selection criteria. Because if your filter says close all open work orders and you forgot one little checkbox, congrats. You just shut down your maintenance operations for the entire company. And yes, I've seen that exactly happen more than once. And yes, the IT people will absolutely laugh at you, just not to your face. Now, with that said, these tools are absolutely worth learning, because this is where cleanup becomes manageable. You can finally archive those work orders older than the kid you just sent off to college. You can bulk clean garbage statuses, close duplicate records, standardize descriptions, fix naming problems, and load new assets correctly. And instead of manually clicking through the 10,000 records like your chain smoking Aunt Edna working the penny slots at the casino, it's done in minutes. This is how mature systems stay clean, not through heroics, not through interns, not through Kevin and maintenance staying until 11 p.m. every Friday, through systems, consistency, and using the tools correctly. Thanks, Kev, for your dedication. Now, eventually, you're going to hit a wall because no CMMS does everything perfectly. I know vendors hate hearing that. Trust me, they hated it when I said it while I worked for them too. But it's true. Sometimes the built-in tools are amazing. Sometimes they look like they were designed during the Bush administration, the older one. Ask your dad about them. That's where external tools come in. Now, before some software purist clutches their pearls and starts hyperventilating, no, using external tools is not cheating. In fact, a lot of these tools actually come from your CMMS vendor. They just couldn't cram every utility neatly into the main software. Import assistants, data scrubbers, reporting connectors, API utilities, migration tools, Excel plugins, and automation platforms. A lot of these already exist, and honestly, some of the best cleanup work I've ever seen happened outside of the CMMS first. Because sometimes Excel, Power BI, SQL tools, or AI can help you identify patterns way faster than trying to brute force it manually inside the system. This includes duplicating assets, bad naming conventions, broken status logic, mismatched equipment records, garbage drop-down values somebody created when Obama was still a senator, and nobody ever cleaned them up. AI is really good at helping organize this stuff too. And no, I'm not talking about turning your maintenance shop into the Matrix. I'm talking about practical cleanup, helping categorize records, finding duplicates, standardizing descriptions, identifying patterns humans miss because they have been staring at these same spreadsheets since Lotus 123. Ask your older uncle about that one. And here's the important part. External tools should support your CMMS, not replace good processes. Because if your process is chaos, AI is just going to help you create faster chaos. That's all. Think of external tools like the protective case on your smartphone. Your phone is already relatively break-proof. I still give mom the best case I possibly can find, because the goal isn't to test the manufacturer's confidence level every time she leaves it on the roof of her car after getting BOGOs at Publix. This is what the tools are supposed to do: support the system, protect the data, extend the value. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to have the fanciest CMMS, the goal is to have one people can actually trust. All right, so here's the takeaway. Your CMMS probably does more than you think it does. There are tools hiding in there right more useful, but only if someone actually takes the time to look. Inventory your system, review your features, learn your mass tools carefully, use external helpers where they might make sense. And for the love of all things holy, back up your database before you start clicking anything. Because if you don't, I hope your resume is strong. A good CMMS doesn't happen by accident. It happens through attention, consistency, and people who actually care enough to improve it over time. If this episode helped you uncover something hiding in your CMMS, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments what that one thing was, and then share it with that one coworker who thinks fixing data means calling Geordie LaForge. And when this episode ends, check out this video here, because there's a very good chance you already own the tools that you're not using and could use a little cleanup. Next episode, we're going to be talking about codifying workflows. Oh yeah, we're going there. Why every technician does the same task differently. Why tribal knowledge keeps sabotaging consistency, and why your SOP binder probably hasn't been reopened since before we knew what a White House intern was. Ask your granddad about that one. And mom, if you're listening, when you're wearing your AirPods, you don't have to hold the phone up to your ear. I promise. I'm Matthew. I'm the SaaSy guy, where every work order tells a story.